everyone, Herix here today guys, welcome back to another edition of the Shady Sundays week 3. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys 5 amazing shaders that you can use for the brand new updated Minecraft 1.14.16. Now anyways, you can find all the download links in the description down below. They'll all be direct media file links. Guys, don't worry, I'm not going to make you go through any ads, no subscription, none of that, because we don't do that in this channel. Anyways guys, without wasting any time, let's head on to the number 5 spot. So on the number 5 spot, we're starting off very strong with the Royal Shaders GTX. Now this barely takes up any storage, it takes up around 65.3 megabytes. So one thing that you instantly notice about this shaders is how beautiful the water looks like. Just look how beautiful this is. I'm just gonna go fly above here just so you guys can admire that beautiful looking water right over here. So as you can tell, everything is far more vibrant, and I actually did build this like little house over here. And another cool thing about this shaders is just look at how defined these shadows are. Just look at that, that looks far more realistic in my opinion. So I did this just so you guys can see how the lighting looks like. So as you can tell, it is incredibly smooth. So hey, that's honestly pretty cool. And just look at how amazing all of these textures look like, and not to mention that this is actually indeed a 3D shader. Just look at the 3D textures. Now we're gonna set this bad boy to the sunset just so you guys can see how it looks like during the sunset. Just look at how amazing that sun looks like. Even light from the sun goes on the water right over here, which just makes this far more impressive. So if you're a content creator yourself and you're gonna make like some sort of cinematic or montage, then feel free to use this shaders. And of course, you cannot forget the realistic looking sky. So what I think we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna be setting this bad boy to midnight. So this is how everything looks like during the nighttime. There is actually stars in the sky, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Not a lot of shaders put that much effort on how the nighttime looks like, and there's even a realistic looking moon over there if you guys can see it really closely. So that's another massive plus. So this is how the lighting looks like during the nighttime. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. I'm just gonna place this random piece of glowstone right over here. Just look at how smooth all of that lighting is. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 5 spot. Let's head on to the number 4 spot. On the number 4 spot, we actually have a combination right over here. So we have a photorealistic texture pack and a shader. So you don't have to download both of them exactly, but for this video, I'm actually going to be using both of them, combining them. So if you just want to use a no-name shader, feel free to do so. Or if you just want to use a realistic texture pack, then feel free to do so as well. But anyways, I'm just going to show you guys how everything looks like. And right off the bat, you can tell that this is way more realistic than the traditional Minecraft. If you look super carefully into all the blocks, you will notice the amount of detail that actually went into it. But just look at how realistic that is. That is literally something you would see in your backyard. So it's finally cool to see how there's at least some sort of realistic texture pack in Minecraft Pocket Edition. And of course, you cannot forget how realistic the leaves look like. And even the logs themselves, just look at that. That is a full-on realistic looking logs. Definitely one of the most realistic texture packs out there. But here are some of the blocks, guys. As you can tell, they look super good in my opinion. Just look at that. Definitely one of the most realistic texture packs in all of Minecraft. And not to mention the fact that we have a shader water right over here. So just look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. Though it is a little bit glitchy, but don't worry guys. If you just use a no-name shader alone, none of this should happen. But because we are using the photorealistic pack, things are a little bit glitchy. But that still does not take away from the fact on how beautiful the water looks like. So we're just gonna go underwater here and just look at how beautiful this place is. Now what I think we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be turning this bad boy to the sunset. So we're just gonna set it to the sunset and just look at that. Definitely one of the most beautiful looking sunsets in all of Minecraft Pocket Edition. Alright boys, another cool thing about the shaders is the sun. Just look at how the sun looks like. If we just look towards one direction, the sun's rays will actually correspond with the way we move our player head, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Just look at that. Definitely one of the coolest things of all time. But anyways, now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning this bad boy to midnight just like so. And now we're just going to place down our glowstone and just look at how the lighting works. So the light actually reaches pretty far, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 4 spot. Let's head on to the number 3 spot. We have the titanium shaders right over here. Now this actually does work for lower end devices. So if you have a low end device yourself, then feel free to use the shaders because this should work no matter what device you have. Anyways, this takes around 10.8 megabytes worth of storage. And now all we're gonna do is I'm just gonna show you guys exactly what this shader has to offer. So right out the bat, you can tell that the water is far more different. It isn't as shiny as some of the other shaders, and that's actually what reduces lag a tremendous amount. because it is usually the water that causes up most of the lags in these shaders. And if you actually go underwater, there's even a lot of light that comes up from the sun and touches the ocean floor, which is another massive plus. And of course, you cannot forget how wavy all of these animations look like. For example, this leaf, or these leaves right up here, they are super wavy, which looks really good in my opinion. For example, right over here, there's big shadows with all of these blocks that makes these shaders far more better. Now just look how smooth that lighting is, and of course you cannot forget the realistic looking sky, and we have the realistic looking sun over there, which is another massive plus about the shaders. Next thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna change this bad boy to the sunset, just like so, and that is how the sunset looks like. It looks really good in my opinion. You know, this is just one of the most beautiful looking views of all time in Minecraft Pocket Edition. And now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be changing this bad boy to midnight, just like so, and immediately you can tell that there's a whole lot of stars during the midnight, which makes this shader far more better, because a lot of shaders tend to forget some things to include during the nighttime, but this shader is an exception. Anyways, just look at how the lighting looks like. So the light actually goes up pretty far compared to the other shaders, which is another massive plus. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 3 spot. Let's head on to the number 2 spot. The number 2 spot, guys, we have a really special shader right over here. So we have the GSPE shader combined with the Hollywood blocked shader right over here. Now don't get confused, the GSPE is meant to be the shaders and the Hollywood blocked is technically considered the shaders. However, the main purpose of that texture pack is to give the blocks the realistic 3D looking effect. So this shader is going to be a 3D shader, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So let's take a close look at this brick right over here. You can tell that there is a lot of 3D textures, and even the glass has a 3D effects over here. This is how some of the emerald blocks look like. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going near this oak log. Even the oak log looks 3D as well, which is another massive plus there. If you look super carefully, I'm just going to go down over here, you can tell that it is actually 3D as well, which is another massive plus about this texture pack. And of course, you cannot forget the realistic looking clouds with the sun right over there, which looks really weird in my opinion, but I mean, hey, you can't complain. You still get 3D textures in this shader right over here. So if you have like some sort of castle build, this will definitely make it look far more better. And even the ice itself looks so much more better. So as you can tell, the lighting is actually far more bright and stronger compared to some of the other shaders on this list, which of course is a massive plus. Alright, now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to sunset, just like so. And just look at how amazing this sky looks like. Definitely really good for any type of cinematic, or of course any type of montage. Pretty cool in my opinion. Next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to midnight, and as you can tell, everything looks so good. Even during the nighttime, we have some stars, of course, and also a realistic looking moon that does give off a little bit of light. So that's another massive plus about this shader. So in general, this is definitely one of the best shaders out there, because of course it does have 3D textures. Just look at how amazing all of that looks like. The sandstone right over here, this will definitely make any Minecraft world you have look far more better. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the number 2 spot. Let's head on to the number 1 spot. Well guys, you already knew this shader was going to be in this video. That is of course the TPE shader medium right over here. Now this only takes up about half a megabyte worth of storage, but beware guys, this does require a somewhat high-end device. So immediately you can tell that we have nice vibrant looking lights over here with defined shadows like so. We even have our own player shadow right up here, and it even corresponds with our movement. So even the legs of the shadow corresponds with our movement, which is pretty cool. So definitely one of the coolest things out there. And this is how the water looks like. The water, once again, isn't that impressive, but it still looks pretty cool. And this is how everything looks like underwater. Everything looks pretty cool in my opinion. Definitely one of the most realistic looking texture packs out there. And guys, as you can tell, it is raining right now, and there's even realistic animations. If you look really closely, you can tell that there's little raindrop animations when the raindrops of course hit the ground. And even over here guys, there's a full on rainbow. I think this is the only shaders that I ever showed off in this channel that actually comes with a rainbow. Definitely one of the best shaders out there. And look over here at the smooth lighting, definitely super smooth. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this bad boy to the sunset, just like so. That's how the sunset looks like, one of the most beautiful looking sunsets of all time. And even when you move your player head, the sun rays also follow you, which is pretty cool. And believe it or not, this shader actually does have a ray tracing to it. I know it's not 100% like the PC version, but as you can tell, there's actually full-on rays over there. There is some rays over there, which is another massive plus. This is the only shaders in Minecraft Pocket Edition that comes with the rays. If you look over there, you can tell that there's legit full-on arrays. There's even more to the shaders. If you actually turn this bad boy to the nighttime, you will actually notice that there's a lot more this shader has to offer. Look at that night sky, it looks absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of stars over there and even asteroids. If you look really carefully, there is a full-on asteroids, and of course you cannot forget that there is a moon in the dead center of all of this. But guys, look at this, there's a full-on flashing stars over here that just makes this shader look far more better. And now let's look at how the lighting of the shader is. As you can tell, the lighting is really smooth once again, and the light actually goes a far distance. Guys, this shader video basically has everything from low-end shaders, high-end shaders, 3D shaders, ray tracing shaders. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If this video did help you out in any way, shape, or form, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, make sure to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter for more updates on my life and future videos. Anyways guys, all the downloads can be found in the description down below. There will also be timestamps. Anyways guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, French fries.